You are now listening to the Strong Opinions podcast.
Hey, here we are again on the Life is Not Complicated Strong Opinion podcast. I'm in Virginia. I'm without my boy Charles, but I got some extremely important guests with me today. My daughter, Miss Allyson Wallace.
Hello.
And this ever so big human being, Mr. Trae, her boyfriend.
What's going on?
I think I'm kind of scared of him. I mean, the dude is big enough, his back looked like a refrigerator. But be that as it may, how y'all doing today?
Good.
Just enjoying the weekend.
Don't try to slow down now that the mics are on. Listen, they were talking so much trash for, oh, we got you, Daddy. Hey, so let's talk about the military.
Okay.
Now, we've had some good conversations this weekend about comparing when I was in based on, today and how things are a little different. And a whole lot really the same. Still got a lot of stupidity.
Oh, yes.
And people, before we get into it, y'all, my daughter's a police. She's the person that I did not like when I was in the Navy. So we have guys that do things that are just extremely stupid and get themselves in trouble. And I tell young people all the time, the military can be the best or worst thing to ever happen to you. If you can't follow instructions, don't go. But if you do all the right things and do what you're supposed to do, cross all the T's and dot all the I's, it can set you up for the rest of your life. Am I right?
Very true.
So share some of your experiences in the new Navy.
The new Navy?
Come on, Trae.
What do we call it, the new Navy? No,
Oh, y'all got fancy uniforms and all that now. Like when I was in, we had the ugliest uniforms amongst all joint forces.
I mean, it's been a good and bad experience for, both sides. My field, I'm an engineer, so you get both sides, the good and the bad. You see what stupidity can cause. You see how your career can either take off or dive right into the ground. But it's all in how you want to make it in here. I love what I do because I get to make sure the ships are going and make sure everybody's taken care of and we don't sink.
Right.
And Allyson gets to make sure that people are safe and not out here being stupid and causing deaths that shouldn't be caused on base.
Right.
So,
Something as simple as, drinking and driving. It's, nowadays, there's Uber, there's Lyft, there's a friend.
Wait. So they're drinking and driving on base?
Well, yeah, we still go out, have a good time. We're sailors, we still drink, but
Say we gonna drink, but we didn't drive. We just on
our
drunk.
base,
We were drunk while walking.
Right. On our base, especially in a big town like here, there's no bars on base. I kind of feel like they're trying to do away
Y'all
with
don't have
that.
an E-Club?
No.
That's
no.
un-American.
It closed, I think, 7 years ago.
That's
It's
un-American.
been a while.
What base does not have an E-Club? So where do the town thoughts recruit Navy sailors if there ain't no E-Club?
All the civilians.
they go out in town to these other bases that have them, or to the
Go out
college
single, come back married.
Yeah, pretty much. This base, they're gonna try to shut down fun for this base because you're closer to the capital.
Well, I wouldn't
Oh.
say that. They open more fun that's more for
Navy
family. They'll do little cookouts and we get a flyer on our door every day to go bowling and bring a free friend, that kind of thing. So I think they're trying to get away of the negativity of what drinking involves. They're trying to show you can live without
They're trying to
being
get
messed
away
up.
from the
So it ain't no more
stereotype.
twerking contest or nothing like that.
They're trying to get away from the stereotype of sailors are just drunks.
And you wonder
Exactly.
why I said New Navy. That's why. Because, see, when I was in the Navy, we was crazy. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm glad we didn't have social media. That's all I know.
Okay, yes.
Because I don't want my baby seeing me in like, but I didn't do nothing. Not
Right,
me,
right.
No, not me. I was an assistant to the chapel, and I was walking with Jesus.
I told you, Trae, he been a saint every day.
Day one. See, she know.
I'm 25 and I know I ain't no damn saint. I know I done done some bad things that, Not horrible, but just bad enough to where I'm just like, my mom would probably slap my face off. She
Like
said,
what?
Nothing, son, young man. So, Allison, I want to tell you, I get to hear it because you call me with your excitement with different things in law enforcement. But how do you like your job? Like, how do you like what you do?
I absolutely love doing my job. Like, as a master at arms, we do a lot of law enforcement, pulling people over, the typical stuff like that. But at the same time, I get to help people, like I've helped people on the side of the road that have been in accidents. And, just last week I had a 3-car accident and 2 girls ended up going to the hospital.
Oh, wow.
But I was one of the first people there. I almost lost my mind at first running around trying to figure out what happened and, are you okay? But, it turned out all right. We got medical on the scene and everything else. So I love what I do. Not everybody likes it, but I feel like I'm cut out for it pretty well.
That's what's up. Embracing and loving what you do that's where true happiness begins. Like, and I try to explain that to people because, for the most part, you've signed up and for 4 years, this is you.
The whole 4.
You can go to work and hate it every day, or you can go to work and embrace and love it. And that'll really determine and set the course of the happiness of your life.
Oh, yeah.
And Trae, Mr. Trae, like, first of all, I'm going to tell you, Trae is an engineer. So if you're assigned to a ship and you're an engineer and it's in port, you don't do really anything. And Allyson is always saying, Dad, he go to work at 8, by 9:30 he is home. He don't.
Allison's just a true hater.
She a hater?
Oh, my Lord.
She's a hater. You love, what's that saying? Pick your rate, pick your fate.
And that is true.
So, engineers, I work in the hydraulics department. So, you're right. I go in at like 7, not 8. And then
8:30.
I come home about 10, 11, sweating up a storm, hot, angry, frustrated.
So you put in 8 hours in 2?
I do.
Yeah, okay.
That's what Uncle Sam says.
Big facts.
And then I come home angry, frustrated. Ain't put my hands on no cats and nothing.
And then 10 hours later, I come home and he's like, "Why are you so upset?" I'm hot. Yeah, me too.
But I really do. Like I said, and like you said, you gotta enjoy what you do. Instead of anything you do, whether it's in life, school, work. You gotta enjoy what you do. And I enjoy working with gas turbine motors and hydraulic systems and all that. And when I'm in port, I don't do anything because there's nothing really on.
Right.
We just make sure everything's still functioning the right way, and then we call in civilians to back that up to make sure it's working the right way. So
what you're saying is when it comes to the real work, y'all call people to do real work.
when we're in port, we do. Not gonna lie, we do. But without the civilians' help, and they had to say the same thing without our help,
Right.
things wouldn't work the way it's supposed to work.
Unified force.
Oh, yes. And you definitely got to work as a team, especially with the civilians, because a lot of the time they either were never in the military or retired. There's no in-betweens.
Right.
I don't know why it's that way, but that's usually how it is. And, they could be difficult to work with because, they don't have to do what we have to,
Right.
what we're told to do, But at the same time, like, without them, we couldn't get anything done.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Now, both of you guys are from extremely small towns, and y'all still young. So, what is the mentality difference? The people that you surround yourself with here in the military that's a little bit more advanced versus the people that when you go home, they just kind of still stuck in the same cycle that they were when you guys left. Like how was it dealing with that?
It was an eye-opener for me going home to where I'm from and then going to visit Allison's hometown. It was an eye-opener because your mentality is maturing. Like, you're looking at the world for what it is, and you get like a dark glass view of the outside end of where your small town compared to a big world like such as the Navy. And you go home and mentalities change about you, and you change your mentalities about your old friends in high school and middle school and all that. And it's just, you see them doing the same things. Like, some of them go to college, some of them end up going to college, graduating, coming back to the same thing of just hanging out, wanting to party all the time, drinking. And then you're coming back up to base, and your mentality is, yeah, I can have fun when it's needed, but I gotta focus on what I gotta do. I gotta focus on what my end goal is out of this whole thing that I signed up for, not what everybody else signed up for, because not everybody can do what we do. It takes a certain few, and a lot of people say, nah, we could have done that, we could have done it, but you didn't.
Right.
You couldn't do what we do. You couldn't wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday when you're supposed to be out partying until 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, going in and fixing something, or going in on duty and staying from 3 until I'll be 3 that afternoon, or even later than that, then have to go on a watch. You can't do that.
Right.
So it's your mentality changes as your parents molded you into being. You gotta be an adult eventually, and open your mind up to say, Mom and Daddy ain't here no more.
Right.
Because for some of us, we come straight out of high school. Some of us we went to college and come straight into the military.
And there's some people that are, like 30. I think the oldest woman in my boot camp was 38 with 4 kids and married.
Wow. And for someone like Allyson just said, it's their last chance to make something of themselves and
be a part of something bigger than yourself.
Exactly. But at the end of it, this is you. This is how you have to make it for yourself. This is your footprint, your handprint that you're wanting to embed on your children to say that I did this.
Right.
I had to do this. I had to get up at certain hours of the night or certain hours of the day for you to make a better life for not only myself, but for you too, especially for ones who have kids who are in the military now. And I love it because, I went to college. It was off on my own, so I already knew what it felt like. But for some of them, it's like, I don't know how it feels like. So you see the side of people who know what it feels like, then you see the side of people who are still adjusting to it, and the people who adjust to it are the ones who succeed the most out of it, because they're like, I don't need my parents. I don't need so-and-so and so-and-so telling me, hey, let's go drink, or hey, let's go do this, or let's go do that. Because the ones who need that are the ones who are like, I can't do this no more. And either do that 4 years and get out, or decide to say, I'm going to try my hardest to get out of the military because this is just not for me.
Right. Now, Allyson, with both me and your mom both being in the Navy, has it always been in the back of your mind that you kind of wanted to join the Navy?
Oh, yeah. I remember when I was like 7 was the first time I was like, I really, really would like to join. But, then you get into high school and you think you love somebody and decide to stay behind. That's what held me back. And, sometimes I do wish I would have joined straight out of high school, because I be meeting people that are like my chiefs. And sometimes some senior chiefs I meet that are the same age as me. And it's like, I should have been that. But I'm happy that, I decided to stay back because, when I got out of high school, did college, didn't do too great, wasn't for me. And then, I was trying to find myself for the next 5 years, and I did nothing but struggle. And then, I broke my wrist with no insurance and really took me under. So that's, when I decided it's time to be an adult, let's just go ahead and do this. And, that I feel like that's the biggest thing is I appreciate it more because I knew what the struggle was about and how it really feels to embrace the suck. But, then you go and you meet these people and they're like, I don't want to eat at the galley 3 times a day. And it's like, man, I remember back in the day, I had 2 jobs and I'd be lucky to have a candy bar in between my breaks, But
right.
That's what I like the most is I feel like I appreciate it more. I respect it more,
And that's a part of not just military but life. As you mature and evolve, you start to view things different. Like you just said, there's people that complain that they don't want to eat in the galley, but then you also know people that have no food at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're like, dude, how can you complain because you think the food tastes bad when there's somebody that they're eating dirt sandwiches?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and so I think that's also a part of my journey. And like, I do a lot with charities and stuff like that, and people go, it's not so much that they ask why, but they're amazed at me doing it. And I'm like, why do you not? Not why do I do it, but why do you not?
Exactly. Because
there's so many people that have nothing, you know what I mean? So if I can help them the slightest, just a tad bit, it may mean the world to them. It may not be a big thing to me, but it may mean something to them. So as you mature and you, at a young age, and you can identify with that, that's a major blessing. Because some people just don't get it. Like they just, like, dude, you complaining because you don't like the shoes. Well, I know people that don't have shoes at all. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. It's crazy. But it's been a great weekend, man. I've had a great time with you guys.
Oh yeah, I've had fun.
It's very beautiful. I was a West Coast sailor, so I never had a chance to come to the East Coast. So this is my thing. It's nothing special. Well, I was always told the closer you are to the Pentagon, the more strict it is.
And that's very true.
And so I did the best I could to stay as far away from the Pentagon as possible. But it's been an enjoying weekend here. You know, as a civilian, I don't have to deal with no code of ethics and military, all the, you know, whatever you learn in boot camp. I forgot the name.
All the little things.
Yeah, see, I don't have to deal with that now. I just get to walk around like an old man with a big stomach and take pictures. Even though
when they're allowed.
Even though they don't allow me to take pictures of Navy vessels anymore. Whoever the hell said that should be unlawful. I hope if it's a she, I hope she get a yeast infection. But if it's a man, get crabs. Because that come on, man, that's like the beauty. When you get to go to a naval yard and take pictures of the ships and the fighter jets and all that, like that's a part of the beauty. And to take that away, that's just un-American. Like I can't.
I have no say. I just enforce the law. I don't play.
And my daughter was once today. You can't take the picture. I said, well, let me just get one, and I will arrest you. I said, okay, well, maybe I won't. This is the baby. You know, the one y'all be talking about is so cute on the pictures.
Oh, I'm a saint. I don't do nothing wrong.
You gonna lie?
What?
Boy, I tell you.
My mom and daddy always say you go to hell for lying. I ain't going with you.
I ain't going with you. So, well, that's the segment for today on the Life is Not Complicated Strong Opinion podcast. We appreciate you guys listening in. And I'll be getting back to Houston with my boy Charles here soon. But that's it. Y'all got anything y'all want to close on? Anything y'all like to say before we go?
So always appreciate what you got.
Have a wonderful Navy day.
Your opinion matters to us at the Strong Opinions Podcast. To join our email list, please visit carloswallace.com.
The biggest reward for me is how much it has inspired students.
I think something that really opened my eyes was when he said, everybody knows the information in this book already, it just takes a little bit of reminding. And that really opened my eyes to how I perceived the book from there on. So I really think it was an overall positive impact on my life.
When I visit campuses and classrooms and see the excitement on their face and, of course, overwhelm me with questions, that's my biggest reward. That's what I enjoy the most.
To purchase Life is Not Complicated You Are or the other 99 times or download the audio versions, please visit carloswallace.com.
6 speakers, one stage, one mission. Stories of inspiration, transformation, and liberation with one goal. Leading individuals forward every day. Match Theater, October the 6th, 7 p.m. Leading individuals forward every day.